What's going on, YouTubers? It's Brandon here. Another blog on ride sharing in Miami. Right now I'm on my way to the car wash. I know typically, to save money, I wash in my yard. But on occasion, you on the go, you get lazy, to be honest. You get lazy. You don't want to get out there and sweat your balls off, wash your vehicle. And for me, I tend to take my sweet bit of time when I wash my truck or my car. And I hit the door jams, I vacuum it out. This is a half a day event for me, because I enjoy it. I have my music going, relaxing, chilling, get a little wet. But on my way to Busy Bee, if you're familiar with, down south and in the Miami area, North Miami area. But for me, because I'm further down south, I'm in the Homestead area, I only have one particular car wash that I visit, which is Busy Bee on US 1 in Perrine. I hate those brushless car washes. They suck. I mean, they're good for knocking off a little dust, but when your vehicle is, really dirty, you need that extra slap that them brushes give. And Busy Bee just went through, a whole renovation. They upgraded their equipment. They added free vacuums. So even if you don't want to wash your car, you can roll up in the vacuum out your car for free. And then roll out, and they try to pin you in because it's like a little trap that you got to go into. You got to drive in, vacuum out your car, then you come around and you have to go through the gate before you pay to actually get your car washed. But it's a little side gate that you pull up to, and it'll open up and let you out if you don't want to wash your car that day. But I typically end up going back anyway, or I just go ahead and knock it all down at the same time, vacuum out my car, get the $6 wash, or if it's happy hour, their version of happy hour, ain't no drinks involved. If it's happy hour, you go there and it's $5 wash, and just soap and water. It cleans your tires, no tire shine, no extras, but it gets your car clean, and does great job on the SUVs too. So if you ever in the area, down south, you want to stop in and get a good car wash. I'm not getting no cash on this. I should be, but I'm not getting any cash on promoting Busy Bee Car Wash. But I highly recommend Busy Bee Car Wash. They do full detailing services, shampooing your seats and your carpets if you're looking for that too. Got to spring a little extra. They also have a monthly pass. It's an unlimited pass. Wash your car as many times as you want a month. It's one pass per vehicle. It's like $20. If you really out there doing the ride sharing thing, you out there consistently, you out there making that money on the real, it's a great investment, to get your car washed anytime you want. Just ride in, because typically what I do, if I'm coming home from work or if I'm just in the general area, I stop in and I get that car wash. Just to knock it off my list of things to do. Because if not, I'm going to end up stopping there anyway, or I'm going to end up waiting till my day off and getting up early in the morning, washing it down. Which, like I said before, it's a joyous time for me because I get to relax, I get to think, get to, just chill and wash the truck and enjoy my time by myself without anybody heckling me like my children and my wife. No offense, Ebony. But you do tend to bother me every time I get outside to wash my vehicles, okay? Appreciate it, if y'all YouTubers, encourage her to stop that. That's my time, not her time. I don't bother her when she doing her video blogs on makeup and doing her little challenges and stuff, but she always want to bother me. But anyways, that's my 2 cents for today. I am gonna hit up Miami Beach later on tonight, probably on late night after 12. Typically what I do, I do a little Uber once I get off of work at midnight, because I work a late shift on my regular job, and it's good for me to go ahead and hit the beach, because usually, especially on the weekends, that's when everybody is out and about, hitting the club scene, eating, So I mean, That's what the business is. Coral Gables area, Hialeah, Doral. Believe it or not, Doral is always has a consistent flow of calls. But Miami Beach, Brickell, that's the hot spots. But there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of competition out there. You got a lot of Uber drivers, you got a lot of Lyft drivers that are in those areas. So, I mean, it's sometimes you go out and it's not that many, you don't get that many calls because there's so many drivers on it. If you open up, I know everybody say, you know, it's a little driver tip, but if you open up the Rider app, and you know on the Rider app, it shows you vehicles that are in the area, you know, Uber vehicles that are in the area. You open up the Rider app and look at how many vehicles are just surround you. I mean, you could typically have 10 or 12 cars around you at one time. You know, in downtown Miami, on Miami Beach, in Brickell, all those areas. It's that much competition out there. So, I mean, the game of you know, waiting for a call, posted up and waiting for a call doesn't always work in those areas. Sometimes you got to be mobile because you got to be the one closest to the person that's making the request. You got to be cruising around. You got to spend that little extra gas, but it usually is worth it. It's well worth it because you get those requests quick in between each other. And with the implementation of the Uber pool, you get a lot of requests also. You know, I've had a few Uber pool rides so far. They've been good. The first time it was like, you know, I had the newbie jitters. So like when I first started a year ago doing Uber, you know, I had the newbie jitters because I wasn't quite sure how I was going to go, if the people even knew it. My first Uber pool, actually, they didn't even know that they requested an Uber pool. They didn't realize that they requested it. One guy was generally new to Uber altogether, which, okay, that's understandable one. The other gentleman has used Uber before, but he didn't realize that he requested an Uber pool. So when he got in the vehicle and he sees somebody in the passenger seat with me, you know, he was a little spooked, but he got in anyway. So after a few moments, you know, I asked him, did he realize that he requested Uber pool, and he didn't even know what it was. So I had to explain it to him, and then it was a smooth ride from then on. But like I said, so far I've only had 2. I'm still waiting on this new feature that supposedly was added, where, you know, if you get a ride and there's someone in the area of your drop-off destination that's requesting a ride, that, you know, you're on the way there, you're close to there, and you'll probably be the best response to that person. You'll get the request while you're still in the ride that you have in your at that current time. I have not experienced that yet. I'm still waiting for that to happen. So that's the only thing that I haven't had a chance to test out and see if it actually works. Have had a few glitches consistently with the Uber app, where it causes my navigation to lock up. I mean, when I use the navigation normally by itself, standalone, you know, for any other task, you know, if I'm trying to find my way to get somewhere, I have no issues with the GPS locking up. It's only when I use it in the Uber app that occasionally it'll just freeze. Like it'll be working fine. I'm traveling. It'll show me moving. It'll show me a little arrow moving on the Google. I use Google Maps, but then it'll just freeze. And when I say freeze, I mean not just pause for a minute and then continue on. It freeze. It won't move. It won't continue. And in order for me to get back going, because I mean, typically I'm mid-trip, you know, trying to get somebody to their destination, I literally have to fiddle around with the app. I have to force close the app, restart it, and then it'll pick up where it left off after I force close it. And not just, you know, go to Task Killer and close it. I'm talking about like I have to go to the app info, force close Google Maps, and then start it back up. So anybody from Google support, if you're watching this, you know, please look into that. You know, I'm gonna send a message to Uber support also on that issue, so that can be fixed, because that is time consuming. And again, you know, then you might get a rating that you don't know where you're going, bad navigation. I mean, that's worst case scenario. So far, I've only had one bad complaint, which is another thing that I love with the new with the update on the app, which is something I've been begging them for. Maybe they was listening to me, or maybe it was a large amount of people that were making this complaint. But I've always said, you know, from the start of me using Uber, you know, and with their feedback system, you know, I'm like, you know, when I first started, my rating was 5, just like everybody else. And then when I say my rating took a dive, like to like 4.7 something, 4.76, and kept going down, you know, I was worried. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I know I'm being professional. I know I was dressing appropriately. I know I was navigating people to the correct areas, you know. And, you know, so my whole thing was, why, you know, can't we get any information on feedback? You know, we don't want, you know, for me, I don't want this person said this, you know, I don't want that. You know, just give me a general description of what it is that I'm doing wrong, or what comments you guys have received. You know, give me a summary, you know, telling me what it is that I'm doing wrong, that, you know, people are giving me bad ratings. So, you know, at first, you know, support was like, oh, it's a privacy issue, you know, we can't give out that information. So what's the whole purpose of the feedback? Just so you guys can have it? I mean, we're giving a customer service. Me as an independent contractor, I'm providing a customer service. And in the customer service industry, feedback is key. Any company, whether it's retail, hospitality, whatever, feedback is key, because you want to know how you're doing. If you don't know how you're doing and your business is going to crap, you're never going to figure out what it was that, you know, that sent your business into the pothole. So, I mean, you got to know what feedback you're getting back from your customers. And on the app now, they show you now, you know, your feedback. They show you your rating. They show you bad stuff that they don't tell you exactly what it was bad that you did, but they tell you generally what it was. Was it your professionalism? Was it your navigating? Was it that you know, you started the trip too early, or things like that? They give you a brief summary and then give you a brief description of what you can do to do things better the next time, which is awesome. It's a step in the right direction, in my opinion, and I love that addition to the app. You know, it shows you your rating compared to people in your drivers in your area, driving partners in your area, which is also great. Which I'm in the top 10%, baby. I got a rating of 4.84. Awesome. And still climbing. Whatever you're thinking. I always provide professional service. I always talk to my riders, whether they want to talk or not. I talk to my riders. You know, sometimes people, you know, get in the car and don't want to talk, but, you know, it's because they have things on their mind. They thinking about stuff, and sometimes they need an outlet. You know, sometimes you're the riding counselor. You know, you gotta give somebody some advice. You gotta speak to them and calm their nerves about stuff that they're going through in their life. I mean, I've been a psychiatrist. I've been family therapist. I've been everything in this vehicle, I'm telling you. And I don't mind. I'm a people person. I like meeting people. I like conversating. You know, even when the conversation isn't the best. I mean, granted, you know, I get in there and I speak my mind, and people like having a different outsource to talk to people, you know, other than, you know, the everyday people that they're around. But not to get off topic, just pulling in the Busy Bee, top-notch place, love it. Buddy cruising in here with his top down, trying to roll it up. So like I said, I'm coming in here, get this $6 car wash. Not trying to get no detail. Don't have time. I have to be to my actual job in a little bit, so I want to get in here, vacuum, and get a quick wash and get up out of here. Don't take that long. Beautiful facility, landscaping. But I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna do another video later on tonight or early in the morning, depending on how things go tonight. Thanksgiving was a good day. I did pretty good Thanksgiving. If you guys were out on Thanksgiving weekend, it was great. I did pull in a little early, you know, had to fill my tummy. You know, food was off glass. Thank you, Cousin Sylvia, for that plate. You know, I know you made the food. Let Ray try to take all the credit, all he want, but that plate was off glass. Cousin Steve, that cornbread, on point, man, on point. All right, people, I'm out of here. I'll catch you later. Peace out. Safe Uber driving.